I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. I dare you to do that.
Be laughing.
Oh my goodness. I love that. Oh my goodness. Russell's iPad.
Okay. We ready, Bill? No, I'll wait a couple of minutes. I'm going to start here in a couple of minutes. We're trying to get this thing to hook up to YouTube so it's recorded.
I'm going to turn.
No go? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming to this morning's meeting. And if you would, go ahead and please silence your phone. Mine's in the office, thank goodness. Okay, want to call the Board of Trustees workshop for March 22nd at
Board meeting.
At 9:34. Dang. Okay, Sandy, would you give the invocation and please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Oh.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful morning that we have to conduct business for Trailer Estates. Enrich our minds and ways to improve our lovely park in a positive manner. We ask this in thy name. Amen.
Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Sandy, would you do the roll call, please?
How about if Lori does it? Can Lori do it?
What did I say?
Sandy? I don't know.
It's going to be a long meeting.
Mary
Lori,
Chandler.
please.
Mary Chandler. Lori Dalton here. Kathy Gregory.
Here.
Russell McAllister. Louis Nichols.
Here.
Pete Price.
Here.
Sandy Simonich.
Here.
Dwayne Trotter.
Here. Okay, could we have residents' comments, please?
This man, we don't have a battery again.
Uh-oh.
1,000.
Bill,
Dwayne.
Harry Split, 2104 Ohio Avenue. First, I'd like to compliment Mary on the good work she's done in presenting the information and thanking each one of you for doing this job unpaid. I'm an engineering technician and a sailor. Hearing me okay?
Yep.
I have extensive experience working in marinas. When I stopped the foolish attempt to replace the south wall of the marina some 15 years ago, I studied seawall construction and repair extensively. My recommendations are, instead of replacing AC units so frequently, do what I suggested years ago and put a roof over them to reduce the rusting from the rain. Yes, I was a member of the technical committee that recommended replacement of the heaters for the pool that were burning expensive gas to solar exchange units, which are working today. And by the way, I was also assistant dock master under Vinnie Bartomeu some years ago in that marina. There's no income shown for Manatee County, from Manatee County, for the grass cutting and tree trimming that we do on their property. We effectively pay twice for it. And there's been no balance sheets for the marina. The last one was done by me some 15 years ago. It's not an easy task. We do not know if we are making money or losing money on it. Maybe we should sell it. 1, fish cleaning shack replacement, $20,000. I can find nothing wrong with it. Structural, scrub it. 2, park manager, $100,000 per year. We already have actually 3 managers. And is the new manager going to manage the managers? Scrub it. Pool deck addition, $20,000. I, for one, am not going to pay for people to sit around a pool. Let them do it in their own backyards like I do. 4, now for the big one, Marina walls replacement. I have surveyed them, studied them, study the report on them, even with the colored pictures, and find nothing more required than normal annual maintenance. Scrub it, and the 1.5 million borrowing of money that you intend. Keep the $330K in the Marina account. We will soon need it for dredging out the mud brought in by the Manatee storm sewers. So, reduced by 100,000 in the
20
Marina
seconds,
account.
Harry.
100,000 from the manager, 30,000 from pool deck, 20,000 from the fish stack, equals about $250,000. And divide that by 1479 properties. That gives a reduction of about $169, which is enough to help people who are on Social Security
three
keep up
minutes.
with inflation. I rest my case.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know where that goes.
Good morning,
Good
John.
morning.
John Good, 6913 Marlin Lane. I'm really here to kind of support Harry's complaint, if you will, or lack of further investigation, which I think is needed for the Marina. I mean, I heard some comments saying that it's absolutely necessary that this gets done and that we issue a bond for $1,500,000 or thereabouts, which is the entire annual budget of the park, without further information being provided, at least to the public, or second, third opinions. And I'm remiss in that I haven't investigated it before, but I wish there was more information made available to the public to see whether or not that's necessary, rather than just hear an opinion from the trustees up here. So with that, I think more heads are better than one, and maybe there's a way to fix it with some sharp minds. And I would like to hand this to the secretary. It's just my request for a copy of, the reports and communications regarding the necessary requirement that be replaced.
You need to turn that into the public records person who is TJ.
Thank you. I will be glad to do that.
Thank you.
All right. Good day.
Thanks.
Good morning.
Morning.
Karen Baker, 2204 Minnesota Avenue. My concern today is a dog statue gifted by Southeast Guide Dog Organization to the Men's Bible Study and TE Workshop in recognition of their generous donations to that organization. It was suggested at the last meeting the dog statue should be placed in front of the large hall by the Veterans Memorial. In my opinion, placement there gives the visual impression to guests and potential new residents that dogs are welcomed in TE without restrictions. While I believe the statue is a generous gift, I feel it should be placed in the workshop area. The residents of TE will recognize its significance and will not give a false impression to visitors that dogs are welcomed without any TE restrictions. I hope the board takes my concerns into consideration before the statue is placed. Also, let's see, what is the status of our resident Directories. And regarding the 7% monthly increase, our attorneys have requested in their bill, are we paying our monthly bill with this increase? Thank you.
My name is Terry Galvin. I live at 1608 New York Avenue. I would like to provide some feedback in regards to the discussion of the last board meeting in regards to the donation of the dog statue by SE Guide Dogs to the Men's Bible Club and the Workshop Club. Once again, I would like to congratulate and provide praise in regards to all the work that the group has done in terms of providing these charitable donations. The dog statue was accepted without a first or second motion from a trustee or a vote of the Board of Trustees. It's my understanding that in the past that this donation has been rejected by the board for many reasons. Many feel that the donation of the $5,000 statue of the dog by this 501c3 charitable organization seems to take away funds from the recipients that need these dogs, and the funds could be put to better use. The dog statue is very large and does not have a special vest or anything to distinguish that this is a guide dog. Some of the comments in the park have indicated that this statue looks more like a playground equipment and that the kids will love it. Also, Trailer Estates is not a dog-friendly park, and this dog statue displayed in the common area, visible from the public street, sends an incorrect and conflicting message. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Good morning, trustees. I am Ruth Coppin, 6823 Massachusetts Street. I am reporting because our auxiliary is not really a recognized club as such. We're just kind of hanging out there till we get everything finalized. I want to inform you that sales at the Fire Barn Auxiliary are moving along at about the same pace as usual. We have maintained the same intake or money average despite all the yard sales in the park. Since the yard sales have ended, our donations have been plentiful. We ask that you please look at the things very well before you donate them to us. If you can't sell them, maybe you shouldn't have donated some of them. Some are sellable, but some are not. And please, please, no tires. We have tires that have been dropped off again. No studio couches. We have to pay to be rid of these things as everybody else does, and we would appreciate you not doing that. Our foot traffic remains about the same. We average about 200 people each time that we are open. We continue looking forward to continuing our service within the park and for the park. Now I want to switch gears just a little bit and read to you something else that is more of a personal thing. This has nothing to do with the auxiliary. This is about Certified District Manager Program. The purpose of this educational program is to ensure that district managers comply with the Florida statutes governing special districts. For subjects, special district staff are presented in the program, followed by a written project. Successful graduates are recognized and awarded their certification each year at the FASD annual conference in June. In 2004, the association, in conjunction with the former Department of Community Affairs, now Department of Economic Opportunity, created the Certified District Manager CDM program and partnered with Florida State University's Askew School of Governance to provide the best possible certification program for this field. This program not only recognizes the professional and educational accomplishments of district managers of special districts, but promotes professionalism among the members of this profession. This program is geared towards middle management looking to advance to upper management and district leadership. Subjects covered include contract manager procurement, project management, intergovernmental relations, public information, strategy, planning, budgeting, board relations, ethics, sunshine law, collective bargaining. And I did give a copy of this to TJ for
Great.
public record, and I'm giving it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just thought it was an informational thing. Hey, it doesn't hurt. More information, the better. So thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Joe Carey, 1803 Wisconsin Avenue. First, I want to thank the board and maintenance for the great job that they've been doing in the park. The improvements are so obvious, it's pretty amazing. So thank you. Appreciate it. I come to the board meetings as often as I can, and I try to, be part of the solution. I try to listen, I try to learn. And I really enjoyed the meeting a couple of weeks ago. And I felt it important to reach out, so I did send out emails to board members. I don't know if they all received them, but I'm just going to briefly, not read the whole thing, but just talk about, I hear about communication. It's important to increase the way that the board can communicate with the residents and vice versa. And one of the ideas that I had was to put matters of importance into the Tribune each month under a totally separate page, maybe titled News from the Board. Now, I know a lot of people, sometimes you get the Tribune and they kind of leaf through it, but I think as time would go on, people would be more interested in reading what the announcements from the board are that can really affect the residents. Also, maybe we can make some announcements at the Saturday night dances about something that's going on. For example, I understand there's going to be a town hall meeting on April 4th. You've got a really great captive audience there. So I think 5 minutes of announcements might be pretty helpful. Again, just a suggestion, Then I had made another suggestion about, and I know it's being worked on, but I haven't heard anything about the ADA door. And I know that we have an ADA door down there, but the handicap parking is this way. So I thought maybe instead of putting in the expensive new doors over here, we could just reline and make the handicap parking closer to the handicap door that's there. So that's about it. Like I said, I think it's important when people come up here that they have, some ideas for any comments that they have. So that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you again for your time.
Good morning. My name is Carol Durand. I live at 6604 New Jersey, and I have a few issues that I'd like to bring up. One is the statue of the dog. I think that's a great honor that we were able to have that. It shows how much the residents and the Bible study and the woodworkers do for the park, and I think it should be placed in a predominant place. And I especially liked the idea of putting it with the military site there, the veterans site. The second thing I'd like to talk about would be the 10 property and the Park Lane property. A few weeks ago, my brother came from North Carolina to visit me. I do not have the accommodations to have them stay over in my place. So he had an RV and he brought it to Park Lane, which he did not use his generator or start it at the engine or anything like that. I talked to a few people that live on Park Lane. They enjoyed him and were very pleasant about it. But there was one individual who had a problem with it. And apparently called the board. What he had done is he had plugged in to an electrical outlet where, by the horseshoes, because the charger he was using to run his CPAP was out of the electricity. So he just did that for a short period of time, and the resident went over there and unplugged it. And he thought, he didn't know why it was unplugged, so he plugged it in again. And the resident went over there and turned off the breaker and then complained to him, I guess not very nicely, that he was using his electricity and that it just gave him grief. And my brother did have a dog there. There was 2 other vehicles that had dogs as well. But because my brother was the only one available, he got the grief from it. So he called the board, someone from the board came over, told him that, you know, what the rules were and what he could and couldn't do. And then they came back again with the rules and showed him that, which I understand, but my brother got grief 3 times that day and maybe more, because of his bad habit or bad usage of Park Lane. And there's only one person complaining. All right, so number 1, my brother is a veteran, Air Force veteran of almost 30 years. He has that dog. He does have an emotional support letter, but it was never brought up, or I never told him, it never occurred to me there'd be a problem. So anyway, he fought in 9 wars. I mean, I think that he should be able to have his dog. Number 2 is that we're using Park Lane where it's across the street from residences, which it could be disturbing to them. And we have the 10 property, which sits vacant until we decide what we're going to do to it, with it. And I think that we should utilize that 10 property on a temporary basis. Had he been able to go there, he could have maybe started his generator, or he would have been closer to me. I'd have run an extension cord over there for anybody that might need it for a CPAP. I think that,
3 minutes is up.
okay,
You wanna
well,
continue?
I'll come back another day.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm Rod Smith, 6522 Washington Street. I'm a past member of the Men's Bible Study, and I have been a contributor from the wood shop for the dog auction. I completely agree with Carol that why are we so concerned about a concrete dog versus the live dogs that are in this park, and we're not a pet-friendly park. I just wonder how many of those dogs that are running around here walking, not like the concrete dog, are fully registered as emotional support dogs. Thank you.
Are there any other resident comments? Here you go. Huh?
My name is Judy Babiash. I live at 1905 Minnesota. I've just got an issue anymore with the pet problem. I think it's time that we address the issue of pets and let them be. So many people have them in the park, whether they're registered or not registered. If we want to address an issue, we should address cleaning up after them. But as far as having them, there is no animal on the planet that isn't a support pet. Everybody that owns an animal is getting support from that pet. I think in this day and age, it's time that we change that rule. Thank you.
Are there anybody else in the audience that like resident comments? I'm sorry. Do I have anybody on Zoom that would like to make a resident comment? Hearing none, I'm closing resident comments. Okay. Oh, that's right. Are there any responses from the Board of Trustees for what the comments were made from the residents?
I'll say something about the Southeast Guide Dogs. I don't know, a little bit of background information on that. And
about placing the statue out near the Veterans Monument. Several of these dogs go to veterans, and these veterans have severe disabilities, and they cannot function in real life without the service of these dogs. And I recall one event in particular where I had the opportunity to listen to a fellow do a talk on it at the premises of Southeast Guide Dogs. He was a veteran of Afghanistan. When he came home, he had been wounded and he was blind. And he was held up in his apartment building, unable to function, getting really depressed. And someone suggested that he fill out an application at the Southeast Guide Dogs for a dog. And he did so. He got the dog and he became functional in the society, was able to be productive. He could ride the bus. He could do anything he wanted to then. And he was able to live a fulfilled life because of the dog. And when I heard him speak, he was on his second dog already. And they are responsible for their dogs. They clean up after them and they take care of them themselves too. And as far as placing the dog in the vicinity of the monument, my thoughts were that since most of the recipients were veterans, it could be an appropriate place would be near the monument for the veterans. And about the funds, I don't think it's a waste of funds to buy one of the dogs, because the dogs actually promote more conversation about the facility and what Southeast Guide Dogs actually do and how they benefit other people. And it creates much conversation and it spreads. And the expense comes from their budget, and their budget is made strictly from volunteers. They get no governmental grants or anything. And there are people who do donate to Southeast Guide Dogs specifically for these things. All I have.
Yeah, and continuing on with what Pete said at the last board meeting, what I remember Mr. Walker talking about is the dog that was trying to be donated was going to have the American flag on it to be placed at the Veterans Memorial. That turned out that the only statute that we could get is the one that is sitting in the back of the room now. I was hoping that I could get with the Men's Bible Study as well as the art club to see if that cape on the back couldn't be painted with the American flag to still be placed out at the Veterans Memorial, but I haven't had time to get to that yet. As far as the statute saying that we're not a dog-friendly park, I disagree with it. Basically, with what Pete's saying, that is a contribute to our veterans, and it's such a benefit for them. I'll try to follow up with that to see what the with Rex and the art club, see what we can do.
Okay, I have some responses too when you're done.
Oh.
You're done?
Yeah.
Okay. First off, Joe, I like your idea about the Tribune, but please understand that what goes in May's Tribune has to be in by April 1st. And so if we're working on something at the board level and we try to put it in the Tribune, we've already done it, we've workshopped it, and we're probably taking action before it even pops up on in the Tribune. So I'm not 100% sure how I see that working and working well, because we couldn't put anything in there now about the April 4th town hall meeting, because that one's already gone to print. We don't have it in our hand yet, but it's already gone by the time we made that decision. So I'm thinking that the Tribune might be too slow of a process to get good current information out. Then the ADA door parking, I'm handicapped, I admit it, okay? Don't make me go to the north end of the hall if I need in the back of the large hall or if I need in the small hall, because that's the only ADA parking for the small hall. No other place, it's right there. And having a door to be able to come in powered and get into this hall or that hall would be very, very beneficial for myself and anybody else who's handicapped. So I'm not a supporter of moving those parking spaces, not at all. And then the only other thing, Judy, you talked about changing the rules. It's in the deed restrictions, and until there's any sort of an update with the deed restrictions, it's going to be what it is. there's going to be paperwork necessary for all dogs and they need, or all pets, and they need to be registered unless you live in the pet section, and which is a few streets over on the north side. And that's all I have.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Carol, I talked to your brother when he was at Park Lane, and I think one of the things we've done is we've opened the rules and regulations for Park Lane, made some things, because I think part of what happened was some miscommunication or not understanding due to when he arrived. And you say one resident complained, multiple residents contacted me. So it's a little bit more than just one person. And frankly, I felt like I was put in a very awkward position when the dog was there, because lots of people talked to me about why are there dogs on Park Lane. And I didn't only talk to your brother, I talked to other ones. I talked to the other ones too. So I'm sorry that it made him uncomfortable, but you got to follow the rules, and put me and the park in an awkward position as well. So hopefully with addressing the rules, and making it more clear, we'll avoid that in the future. And the other thing I'd like to mention is I support the dog statue. I understand, trust me, right now, there's probably no one in this park who is more sensitive about the abundance of dogs that are unregistered, and working to address that. But I appreciate your comments about the statue, but I think the statue in the Veterans Memorial does not send a message that it's a dog park. I see what you might think that, but I think if it's presented correctly, I think it pays tribute to a lot of hard work that was done to support that organization.
Let me go here with Harry's comments. On the Seawall, Harry, I had two different companies come in, and I got basically the same criteria that the Seawall is 66 years old, that there are submerged cracks, horizontal, vertical, all the way through it. If you walk the top of the seawalls, you can actually see where it is caving in certain areas. The whole wall needs to be, the whole seawalls need to be replaced. It wasn't something I went down and just said, hey, we need to replace it since it's only 66 years old. Two different companies came back with the same criteria. If I don't do something this year with those seawalls, then we're really going to have problems in the future with it. The fish station, if you look at the fish station, it looks like it's perfectly fine. But if you stand there and just go like this, the supporting pylons are ready to give. That's why we're trying to get the the fish station repaired. If I go the other way with it, and I still have to verify it, that I can't just tear it down and rebuild a new fish station because of the county ordinances. I don't want to be in that fish station when it decides to collapse. The pool deck, I've only heard one person, and that would be yourself, that is against the pool extension of the pool deck down for people to sit out at the end of the pool, the south end of the pool, and have food and be with their children or grandkids to enjoy a lunch or just some small snacks there. I have had, I'm gonna say 50, 60 people actually come up and say, how come we haven't put that in from previous years, not just this year? It would be a beneficial improvement to the park if that was actually there, in my opinion. The heaters for the pool, excuse me, for the pool, right now we're running gas to heat the pool. We are now actually switching out the, I'm sorry, Bill shaking his head, no. We're partially using gas to heat those pools, but we are changing the pumps to eliminate gas totally. That's my future project. That pretty well, Bill, did I get that right? or heat pumps, I'm sorry. Backup, yep. And I'm not sure what you were really talking about, the tree trimming and grass.
We lease the property so it's our responsibility to cut the grass and trim the trees like over there at the corner of American Way and Bay.
Well, what I will say on that is the American and Bay Drive, that is leased property from the county, which is included with the storage lot. Years ago, it was negotiated in there that Trailer Estates would take care of the property, because if the county did the maintenance on it, it grew up this tall, the palm trees and everything else were on the ground, and it was becoming almost the coyote park. But when the contract ends with the county, I'm going to try to renegotiate that, because we're spending about $2,500 a year just on going out and mowing it and taking care of the palm trees. I want to include that or reduce the cost for the total lease property for Trailer Estates to get that out of there. But that's going to be down the road till I can get to that contract. Good, supports the complaints to their Karen. Tribune, I agree with that. That's Bible study and pet problem. Okay. That's all the comments from the trustees then? All right, thank you. Okay, let's go to the approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the March 7th board meeting? March 7th, 2022.
I make a
board meeting.
motion.
I second.
Are there any corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, nay. The minutes are approved.
We don't have Mary on Zoom, do we?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the March 7th, 2022 board workshop?
Move, also move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Pete? Are there any corrections to those minutes?
No.
All those in favor of approving the minutes of the workshop, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say no. Minutes are approved. Okay, here we go. Report of the treasurer. Is there a motion? I'll get to that.
We don't have
Yeah,
a report from the treasurer.
Well, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, sorry.
I'm going to give the treasurer's report. Let's see if I can get this straight now. We approved that from last meeting, March 7th.
We
So what am I doing
approved
here?
that, but then we normally have a balance for the checking account, a balance for the investment account.
Okay, for the checking account balance, we have $31,595.15.
Okay.
From the money market balance, we have $1,367,862.65.
All right, I'll make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report.
I'll second.
All those in favor of approving the treasurer's report, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against say nay. Approved. Okay, approval of bills. There are two bills that we need to pay. The first one is in the amount of $2,396 from Blaylock Walters. And that covers the acquisition of the Trailer Estates Fire District property.
All right, technically, you're supposed to say, I make a motion to approve the bill for Blaylock Walters in the amount of blah, blah, for the acquisition
Okay,
and then you get a second. And
I make the motion to approve $2,396 to Blaylock Walters for the acquisition of Trailer Estates Fire District property. Do I have a second?
Second.
who was the second? I'm
Kathy,
sorry,
Kathy.
Kathy. Thank you.
And
You
the
take-
second one
Take a
is,
vote.
oh, all those in favor of approving the bill for $2,396, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. And then the second one is I make a motion to pay $598 for the Trailer Estates Park and Recreation suit against 1611 Michigan.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor of paying $598 bill for the suit on 1611 Michigan, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay.
Do we have any resolution to that in sight?
Working on it.
Okay, that's
That's
fine.
another discussion I'll be having with Mr. Barnaby.
That's fine. Okay.
Okay, staff attorney and trustee comments. I don't think we have any informational reports from the trustees. Start with you, Kathy.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We had a Saturday night dance on March 12th. Tropics played. We had 55 guests attended, and we brought in for donations $413.20. I want to extend a big thank you to the members of the TE Yacht Club who manned the doors and helped us to clean up afterward. Last Friday, on March 18th, we held our first Vegas night meeting. It was very well attended, and I appreciate all of those who came out and who've called me and emailed me after the meeting. Because of some questions that we have about going forward, making sure that we do everything correctly and legally, I made a call into our attorney, Mark Barnaby, on Friday afternoon to ask some questions about can we go forward and what can we do? And so until I get all of my questions answered, right now we're at a standstill. I want to do this, but I want to do it correctly and legally in alignment with our charter. So just hang in there. As soon as I get my questions answered and I come back to the board, then we'll move ahead. So, but thank you all for the interest. Looking forward, this Thursday night, we have Touche Duo who will be entertaining Thursday. That's March 24th at 7 o'clock. Flyers will be going up today. The Saturday night, we have a dance featuring Music Box Duo. They have never played here before. I will have some information through my trustee associate back home posted so you can look up and see what kind of music they play. The Indiana group will be doing the volunteering at the Saturday night dance. The last showtime of the season will be next Thursday, March 31st, and that will be Eddie Erickson coming back, doing his fabulous 60s show. So if you miss him when he was here in November, this is your second chance to come and hear him. The Happy Days group will be entertaining on April 2nd, and the Dancing for Fitness class has graciously stepped up to volunteer for that dance. On April 9th, pickleball will be helping out when Taylor returns. I still need some volunteers for April 16th and April 23rd. So if your club, group, or neighborhood would like to adopt a dance, please give me a call. And I will be hitting up clubs and groups for next season very soon because we have 18 slots to fill for next year. So if you haven't been approached, just wait. I'll be calling you. On Friday, April 8th, Jenny Spielman will be here doing a mini concert. She's going to follow the Jammers. She'll be singing from 3:30 to 4:30. She contacted me. She does a Patsy Cline tribute show. So she will be singing and we'll be passing a bucket to, for donations for her. And I'll be posting that as well throughout the park. Probably sometime next month, I'll be posting the seasonal rec activities for all the Saturday night entertainment. We're just about done filling up all the Saturday nights. So there's something to look forward to when you all return. So thank you.
Cindy?
Well, I'm not nearly as busy as Kathy, thank goodness. She's doing a great job. Appreciate it. We had the Blood Mobile on the 17th, and we had a very good, it was very well attended. Had between 25 and 30 people through there. And I appreciate everybody that went online and set up your appointment ahead of time. And keep your eye at the post office of our postings that we have that Betty Bell does so well. And if you have any information about anybody that in the nursing home, assisted living, that would like to have get well cards, we would like to have that information as well. Thank you.
The coffee break Saturday on the 19th, we had about 53 people who paid and attended. And the fun singers used to be the fun band, but they decided they don't play instruments, so they've changed their name to the Fun Singers now. They were the program, and it was very good, I thought. They also did the Christmas program, which was good. And I want to thank all the volunteers who worked. There were many who set the tables, displays, and served and did different functions. Without all the volunteers, we couldn't have done it. I couldn't have. So I want to thank them. And the next coffee break will be Saturday, the 23rd, and there'll be a deputy from Manatee County Sheriff Department who will be the speaker. And he has some pointers that he wants to bring to us to help make our personal selves more safe and help with the park also. So he's a good speaker. I encourage everybody to attend.
Thank you. Lewis?
Focus for me is, interestingly enough, from what went on today, is dogs. Quite a few people are filing complaints about dogs that don't have sport papers. I sent some notices out this week. We had one incident on the north side of the park where a dog was on a leash and got after somebody else's dog on a leash. And but I have not been able to identify both participants in that. So I don't know that the incident itself, other than finding out that one of the owners did not have their pets registered as emotional supports, and they've been put on notice. But I talked to Manatee County Animal Control, and I've heard quite a few complaints about whether dogs are registered or not. You're still bound by nuisance dog laws in Manatee County if your dog's barking. And I'll be outlining a procedure how to deal with that in an upcoming issue of the Tribune. But the short notice is I asked him, I said, if a dog's barking, there's no guarantee it's still going to be barking when you get to how do we document it? And the thing is, you need 2 complaints for the same incident. And he said, we have reason to investigate. So just letting you know that if you call Manatee Animal Control, if the dog's incessantly barking near you, if you and a neighbor will call Manatee County, they will respond. And I appreciate the comment made earlier that there's comfort in all dogs, but there isn't comfort for all your neighbors and all dogs. I can assure you of that. So we need to engage animal control and take advantage of working in concert with them to manage these pets. So.
Lori?
All right. I'm accepting recurring reservations from clubs, groups, and organizations. Remember, I need a copy of your current officers and bylaws for an organization or a PP 39 for less formal clubs and groups. And please turn them in at the same time you turn in your PP 37 for the reservation, because I can't process it without it.
I'm at a point where I'm thanking everybody for turning in their reservations early. I'm still needing reservations from decorative painting, pottery class, and Wii bowling. I need the PP 39 for the men's poker group. And again, thank you for getting your reservations in early. And then Dottie Deerwester was working on a cost for the personalized flash drives. She was able to get a bid of $2.90 each with a minimum order of 300 or an expense of 870, which is far less than what I was finding. These will be a 1 gig flash drive, which will be far more than enough to hold our planned information. I'm still waiting for the penalties to be finalized before moving forward. We can order the drives whenever the board decides. And I'm working to develop a folder that I can grab a copy to a flash drive, a current copy to a flash drive, and then pass it to the computer club to have them duplicate it as we need them. I'm not comfortable expecting a club to finance this, but I think it's a great idea.
I thought we pretty much talked about that as a park being financed for the welcome packet and everything.
It still seemed to be kind of up in the air in Dottie's thought process and
Okay.
the computer club's thought process. So I want to, with no question or clearly state this is going to be a board financed item. We're going to use their support with doing the copying of, and we definitely appreciate that. But I don't think I'm putting it to rest clearly that we're not going to have them finance it. We'll
So-
use her help getting the cheap stuff,
Okay.
but
So now that we have the prices and stuff, where do we go from now? Putting in the PP 38 to bring that back to the board as a workshop item, or?
no, I don't know that it has to be workshop. Dottie's on vacation. When she comes back from vacation, she and I can meet. There's limited space that of what we can put.
Yep.
My little pea brain, because the header on our website has a turquoise theme to it. I was thinking if we got a turquoise thumb drive and just had it say Trailer Estates.
Okay.
And maybe if we've got the space Trailer Estates, then below it trailerestates.com. So they got our website address right there. And that's about all we're going to be able to do. I don't think we want to get into
Yeah,
any sort of
not a
trying to
lot.
do graphics or anything like that.
No.
But she and I can do a finalize. And then if the board supports, I can give her a thumbs up. We can order them. We can use the card in the office. We don't have to bring this back because it's
No,
below
I-
the normal spending
Yeah,
limit
I can take her out.
for office expenses.
Mhm.
So if the board is supporting moving forward with this action, getting those flash drives ordered and here in our hand, ready to fly as soon as we get the penalties. And maybe the penalties are, we want to wait, we want to go ahead and start the process and then add penalties when they get finalized. We can do that.
We can do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we can make up our minds on that later, but we can work on getting them ordered. So does the board support
Good. Yeah.
my thought process on what we would put on the flash drive
that-
and
yeah.
then going ahead and getting them ordered turquoise?
Do we need a motion for that?
No,
No.
Okay,
no, I just need board support,
I'm for it.
which I've got. All right.
Dwayne, you want to let the residents pick out the color for those flash drives?
Nope.
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 Although I could make them match the building.
I'll get even for that one. On your desk. Okay, I'm gonna do the maintenance report first. The wood shop is going to, or has accepted about paying half of the cost to install the fob system over there. That came to $3,649. I can't remember if I workshopped it, but I didn't know the cost. I'll have to bring that back for approval on PP 38, won't I?
Mhm, as a motion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, they have accepted paying half of the cost of that installation. Big Fish was in here Friday, and they're now starting to install the cameras for the storage lots as well as the Marina. We have reviewed from the March 7th meeting, the storage lot manager, which will be probably approved here, or hopefully approved here today. He has already put in a Excel sheet, and he will probably be starting calling this week to start eliminating all of the people that are sitting on the waiting list for the storage lots. I'm looking forward to that. I also had received a request from the March 7th meeting that when people send in their submissions for 732, their announcements to be put on 732, that there's a mechanism that once you send your graphics or your message, that you actually get a notification receipt back. I've been working with Big Fish on that, and that'll be done. The ADA doors, we had the service rep in. The mechanism that we have out here is totally outdated. They're trying to get parts for it that old. So we also called in the salesperson for that same company. They're giving us a price to put the ADA doors on here, as well as the ADA doors at the southwest corner of the large hall, and repair the one over here at the northwest, I'm sorry, the southwest corner of that one. They only have one rep in the area. I am pro ADA. I think the same as what Lori had made a comment before. I don't want to have any person in a wheelchair or any other mechanism that has to travel around the buildings to get into a function. It is just absurd, but that's my comments on it. Okay, that's all for maintenance. From the chairman's report from the March 7th meeting, there was a request that we hold a town hall meeting. I will be sending out notices today that will be on April 4th here in the Marks Hall from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And that's to discuss the program manager, as well as a management firm for trailer estates. So if you would, please start getting your comments together or your questions together. I'll try answering that with the board. And what we'll do is I'll hold the meeting here in the morning on April 4th. The board meeting will recess until 7 o'clock that same time, come right on back in. And I just lost. Is Russell, are you on? Okay, maybe he's just listening to the meeting. Okay, reports from the standing committees, Beautification Committee.
Hand this to Lori.
Not taken, is it?
Hmm?
It's not
Good
taken,
morning,
is it?
Sandy Stevens, 1814 Minnesota Avenue. Today I come to you on behalf of Beautification Committee as of today, March 21, 2022. All members of the BC have currently resigned due to the concerns overstepping our bounds with the Sunshine Law. All members have agreed that we are unable to do our jobs of raising funds for this park without discussion. We have all agreed to become a club, and in accordance to the PP 39, we have already submitted the paperwork to the office to do so. Therefore, we will be leaving the board all our fundings that we have currently raised in the amount of $7,566.41. However, we would like to request that was agreed upon in a previous meeting that the amount of $5,300 will remain with the park for improvements of the following: lights for the front TE sign, replacements of tile around the hot tub area and new pool furniture, hot tub area and a new pool furniture, We would also like to donate funds for the new shed as requested by the Horseshoe Club. Now, regarding the Rose Garden and the memory bricks, as a courtesy to the park, we will be happy to maintain both as we have done in the past, and nothing will change in the format of this process.
The Rose Garden and what?
And the bricks.
And the bricks.
Bricks, yeah. Now, regarding bingo, the club will also be happy to continue all the duties which will allow our residents to play the game with no change. Regarding Mothers Helping Mothers, we have made the decision to place a donation box at every bingo night and then distribute the funds to mothers once a year. And that's a real important factor because they took us out of a dark spot. And if we continue doing something once a year, they'll be very happy. At the end of we're going to give it to them at the end of the season. The kitchen will also remain open and food service on Sundays and Wednesday evening will remain unchanged. It is our hope a newly formed club that the lines between being a committee and a club will all be deemed seamless. We just go on as we are, but we won't be under the sunshine long. We had a very bad experience a few months ago, and that changed everybody's mind because of an incident, which I'm not going to take your time up, that happened. And I could see their point, how it easily we could slip into breaking that sunshine law. I gotta find my place. It will remain unchanged. Our hopes of a newly formed club lines will be all funds again raised will be given back to the park. All requests from this board and the maintenance department will remain the same. However, as mentioned earlier, the only reason for this change, I already said this, is the liability of dealing with the sunshine law. It has been a true pleasure, I might cry now, working hand in hand with each of the board members, and our hope that we will continue to do so without a lot of problems. Thank you very much. At this time, I think most of the ex-beautification is here. Please stand up, ladies and gentlemen. And let's give them a hand.
I thank you very much.
Thank you.
I thank you very much for everything you guys have done throughout the park. I do have a question. You do realize what you're giving up.
Absolutely.
You're fully aware of it.
I'm fully aware of it.
Okay. The second thing is you said you had what, 7,566.49?
Yeah, minus the 5,300 you voted on at the last meeting.
I know we had talked about the lights, the pool furniture, as well as the spa hall walls. Where did the shed come in at?
The shed, I think someone's here to talk about that from the Horseshoe Club. They came
Okay.
to a beautification meeting and asked us if we would give them money to get a new shed. Now, I think he's coming up to talk to you guys.
Yeah, he'll come up under clubs, groups, and organizations, so.
Yeah, but right now we're on beautification
Right, yeah.
committee and I don't remember ever approving anything. for
No,
a
you
shed.
didn't. Oh,
Right,
no,
we
no,
didn't.
no.
So is that part of the 5,200 or
No,
whatever it
no,
was?
that's part, it's not even on here
Okay,
in those totals.
okay.
We'll have a balance of, I don't know, a couple thousand.
About 2266.41 if these are exact.
Well,
2266.41.
so that's there, and whatever you decide on it, because it's in the account that belongs to the park.
And does that include Saturday night's dance,
Well,
the prom night that includes?
yes,
Okay,
which was very nice, everybody.
it was a wonderful.
Yeah, it was
dance.
really beautiful evening. And these are the things that will go on as usual. We'll keep our same program, except it takes that weight off a lot of people. After we had a meeting with the lawyer and everybody, the next day I got like 5 resignations because it's so scared. I know. So, and a lot of talk went on, and a lot of discussion went on, and a lot of scaredness went on, and Sandy Spence came up with becoming a club. And she is going to be the president of the club.
Sandy, I hope,
Go ahead.
I hope you and all of the former committee members understand that we're not perfect. I'm not perfect either with the sunshine law. The only thing you have to do is if you make a boo-boo, you admit it in front of everybody. You say, hey, I screwed up. I've done it before. I'll do it again, I'm sure.
Yeah,
And this is what happened and this is how we fixed it. And then you go on with life.
yeah, I understand
Okay.
all that. I've been part of this for a long time and
Okay.
I know the sunshine law. We've had the lawyer a couple of times come to speak to the beautification committee. But it's tough when you want to volunteer, you want someone to help you and stuff like that, and you put something over their head that scares them. Come on, it scares some people. And it should scare some people. Right there, yeah, right there. So, and it's just like if I had a problem with the beautification committee, I couldn't talk to you what I wanted to talk to you about because it's part of the sunshine law. Here she comes.
Can I speak?
Sure.
Sandy Spence, 2303 Bay Drive. The main reason going forward is when you plan a huge event, as I know Kathy knows this, we have to talk daily about things that are going on, purchasing this, buying this, who's going to do this. There's constant discussion. It's not discussion as a committee. It's a discussion with Sandy or it's a discussion with this person. So it limits our availability to be able to move forward to create more money for this park. So by being a club, it will free us up to discuss whatever we need. We're hoping to have a tea, and there's absolutely no way that we can honor the sunshine law by doing this huge event and creating so much money for this park by being a committee.
And that's a misunderstanding. Here's how the process works for sunshine law. You have your meeting, you say, we want to do a tea. Does everybody agree? You get your support, you make your motion, you're going to do your tea. And as soon as you've made your motion that you're going to do your tea, the mechanics of doing it are not a problem because you're not voting on what color of tablecloth. You're not voting on what the centerpieces are. You're not voting on whether you're going to serve Earl Grey tea. You're not those aren't votable items. They're not sunshine law violations. So you have your party. Once you do your meeting and you say, this is what we're going to do, and this is who's going to take care of the tea, you're done. The rest of it is all behind the scenes and done without any problem with discussing.
You can do that. Yeah.
So I think there's a misunderstanding about, because the sunshine law is on votable items.
I'm going
Once
to
you vote,
give you the scenario that came up.
okay,
Okay.
all right,
I didn't want to, but I will.
okay.
Les Solomon, who has resigned already after the meeting I'm going to tell you about. We had a meeting and Les and I went to the firehouse way before the meeting because he came up with a great plan, and I'm sure some of you have seen that plan for the firehouse. Okay, and when we didn't have a meeting, we didn't vote on us going. It just came up like that, okay? And he told me, he showed me the thing. He showed it to Mike, and then he was going on a Saturday to meet with the trustees of the, I'm not too sure what they're called, the auxiliary.
Fire commissioners,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was an excellent plan. I mean, they didn't take it, they didn't want it, which is fine. That was their decision. And I said to him, I better go because you're saying beautification. It tied the beautification committee into the firehouse. We were told we broke the sunshine line, Les and I, we broke the sunshine law because we didn't have a vote first. And we didn't have a vote first. It just was something that came up. And it took to heart, it came up at a meeting, and the people at the meeting looked at us, and I said, hey, I didn't think I broke the sunshine law. And Les didn't think he broke the sunshine. And it's something so simple could happen, Laurie. Something goes, and that these people are volunteers. These people maybe go home in the winter. These people have family. These people, They don't want to be dragged in through a court and all that stuff. And that's what would happen. There's still enemies in this park. There's still enemies in this park. And that could happen tomorrow.
There's a remedy for that, Sandy.
Well,
All you have to do is at your next beautification committee meeting, say, look, we think we might have stepped over some bounds. We went, Les and I took this material, we went and we talked to the auxiliary. Get it in the sunshine, get it in your minutes, and then you're covered.
and I understand that, Lori, but you got people here, volunteers. They don't want to have to worry about that. They just
Preaching
want to
to the
help
choir, I'm
us.
a volunteer too.
Well, yeah, but you're voted in. That's a little different. That's a little different. I'm not trying to make it bad for the park or anything like that. We're not. We're really, really not. We're trying to make sure we're doing it right and nothing's brought on us to help to deviate. The board would be pulling. We're part of the board. Why look for some trouble when we can simplify it? Simplify it by being a club. We're not going to take that money and go to Bahamas. We're not going to take that money and we're going to give the park will still have the money.
Yep.
You know, and things will come up and we will have a club meeting and we say, gee, you know, Dwayne needs such and such a thing for the pool. Oh, okay. Well, then we talk about it. We voted on it and we'll give you the money. That's about it. That's about the only changes that we're not going to get the help from the park that we did, which is fine, which is fine. If we have to pay for, where is it back there? Bill to help us out with something, we will pay for it. If we have to pay for setups, which we did in the beginning before we knew we were part of the park, and you guys were supposed to, yeah, we were paying for setup $100 every time we had to dance. But then that was straightened out. So as you see, there was a bumpy road even trying to figure out what was good, what was bad, what was awful. But believe me, I fought this tooth and nail. And after I've seen what's happened, what could happen, I agree with them. Let us be a club. Let us go on the way we were. I'll come every meeting and come up here and bother you. Believe me, I'll be here to make our report and get my face on television. How about that? No, I'm only kidding you. I just want it to be a smooth transition where you're all behind us as a club. The other thing is the bingo. I think the bingo would be out of your hands as far as having to have one of you come run bingo, because it would be a nice transition there too. Continue going on, but getting the other people, making other people happy by doing the Mothers Helping Mothers once a year. And all the money coming back to the players. The kitchen, we'll keep it open in season. I won't be in summer because there's not many people here. But that will be a good transition too. You won't have to worry about somebody taking care of the bingo on the board. Because I've been taking care of it for like 4 or 5 years now and it's been running fine. And we'll get volunteers for that. We'll get the Beautification Club to run the kitchen. So there's so many things that will be a plus.
Okay.
Okay.
It
Thank
sounds
you.
like
You
the
want to say
decision's been made to go ahead and resign, so I don't want
Yeah,
to
they're all there.
continue, but there is a couple of things that I want to check with and I'll get back with.
Yeah.
Once
one of us.
everything's been approved for club and organizations, then we'll.
She got the paperwork.
These are
Yes.
resignation
Those
letters.
are all, there's 13 in
That's
there.
what I figured they were.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
I need to, when you talk to the attorney,
Mhm.
I'm not sure that legally a club can run bingo. It still has to be a board function. We still have to have a trustee there because it's in our charter that we can run it.
Yep.
And without that
That's-
coverage of the charter, the club doesn't have the ability to run the bingo.
We
That's-
don't
They're
have,
volunteers though.
Yeah, they're volunteers,
Volunteers.
but it still has to be under the umbrella
Of the
of
park.
the board.
That's part of the continuous rec responsibility.
Right.
yeah, and
Right, right.
and that, how we did that was
Yeah.
the continuous rec paid for the paper and the daubers.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
and the money for the daubers was always used by wherever he said to do it, but.
All right, but I'm just saying, we can't turn that responsibility over to any club and not have the board involved in it. The board has to remain involved in bingo for it to be legal
Well,
because it's part of our
Yeah.
charter.
well, if you kept it at that, as it is now, which is run by Pete, right?
Right, yeah, nothing
Keep it-
changes.
Nothing changes,
Right.
okay.
I'm just clarifying because the way you spoke it, when you said that the beautification club would take over bingo, we can't assign it. It has to stay continuing
Okay,
rec.
I'm gonna rephrase
Yeah.
that.
No, that's okay. I'm
No, it's
just
okay.
Pete
clarifying,
Price will
that's all.
take over bingo. Beautification
It's-
Club will run it.
Lucky
It'll
you.
stay the same, it'll stay.
As long as I
basically
do
the
not
same.
have to play bingo.
I'm getting called back, bye.
Did you have anything else you were gonna say, Dwayne? Or are you just looking into it?
No, I'll just look into it. Okay, getting off the new business, the first item there is the beautification committee charge, which is now going to be kind of like different.
It's still something that we need to take care of while we go through this process. I make a motion to approve the beautification committee charge PP8 to include the verbiage for $500 pre-approved spending, $2,000 boutique inventory restock, and change item G to replace TJ with office manager as discussed at the January 3rd, 2022, January 17th, 2022, and February 28th, 2022 workshops. We need a second.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor of approving
No discussion?
or nah?
Okay.
The only discussion I'd have is I know it should be approved and we'll just delete it out later, but makes no sense if you don't have a beautification committee.
Well, we haven't made that pick yet.
Yeah.
It's premature, so
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion of the PP8, please say aye.
I,
All those against, nay. Motion is passed. Now, the second item we have is the community channel manager's duty, PP9B.
I make a motion to approve the changes to the community channel manager duties, PP9, as discussed at the workshop on February 28th, 2022.
Any discussion?
Give me a second. I'll second.
I'm sorry. All those in favor of approving the motion of PP9B, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Motion is passed. Lori, did the
Mhm.
PP14A?
Yep, I make a motion to approve the changes to the community channel policy PP14A as discussed at workshop meeting on February 28th, 2022 and March 7th, 2022.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Who's
Sound like Pete.
Pete? Okay.
Any discussion? I have one comment. I received a couple of emails regarding the policy, and it was on paragraph 5. And it was the second sentence, and it says they can run for 3 weeks prior to the event unless more time is needed to sell tickets or secure food. The two comments that I received is they would like to have that 4 weeks instead of 3. That gives like the computer club, they have a monthly schedule that would allow them to run the advertisement for a full month, as well as a couple other. I don't have a problem just by changing 3 weeks to 4 weeks and just amend the motion.
We don't have to amend the, we don't have to amend the motion. We just have to approve that we're changing it. So we took our vote a little bit early.
Okay.
So now it's approve the motion with the minor change.
So it's approved.
No, does everybody support
Just
that minor
support
change?
that change.
There you go.
So I have a second.
So we're good. Yep.
Okay. The next one is the storage lot manager, PP
9C.
9C.
I make a motion to approve the creation of a storage lot manager, PP9C, as discussed at workshops on February 7th and February 28th.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor of approving the motion for PP9C, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Motion is passed. What do we got now?
PP
Lori, you have
23?
PP 25. Oh, I'm
23.
sorry, 23.
I make a motion to approve the rewrite of the storage lot lease PP 23 as discussed at the workshop on March 7th, 2022.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? And I have one. The PP that I put in on page 2 of 3, paragraph F. I forgot to take out my question. What if the applicant is up north? Can that just be eliminated?
Yes.
Yeah, we can take that out. That's not a problem.
Okay, all those in favor of approving PP 23, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Motion is passed. The storage lot rates, PP 21A.
No, you skipped 25A.
Damn. Oh, that's right. That's right. I got it.
Okay.
Kill a tree.
All right. Yep. I make a motion to approve the creation of a verification form for storage lot rental PP 25A as discussed at the workshops on February 28th and March 27th. Apparently, I really wanted us to discuss that really a lot.
March 7th. You say 27th?
March 7th, 2022, sorry, February 28th, 2022, and March 7th, 2022. I just repeated the as discussed when I typed it. I just read it that way, so I don't have to fix it. So second,
Do I have a second to approve PP 25A?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approving PP 25A, please say aye.
aye.
All those against, nay. Motion is passed. Okay, now I'm back down to 25 or 21.
21A, yeah.
21A.
Yep. You ready for me?
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the creation of a separate storage lot rates PP 21A as discussed at the board meeting on February 28th, 2022, and the workshop on March 7th, 2022.
Do I have a second?
Second.
8 seconds.
Oh.
Did you give a copy of this to TJ
Seawall?
already? Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Any discussion? And just like the beautification committee, I goofed up. On the insert for the PP, I had the original draft of what we used to charge, and I have just handed you out the revised rates of what we had approved or had negotiated or discussed in the March 7th meeting.
Go ahead, throw me under the bus because I deserve it.
No.
He gave me new per foot rates. I put in the new per foot rates, but I didn't change the base price based on the new per foot rates. So that's why these are off, and this is why he needed to insert this new, is because now it's actually calculated at the correct new per foot rate.
And the other discussion that I have on there is when I went down to the canoe kayak rates, there's a monthly rate. We don't charge a monthly rate, so I need to delete that monthly rate.
Oh, that's still on yours that you gave just now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we got to delete that too.
And what I have to do on there on the annual rate, it's $100, but what we found out is the rental percentage for taxes is 6.5%. So it's that figure would be changed to
106.
106.50.
Yep. Got it. Good call.
Okay.
Just gonna file that right in there.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. That was 2/3 my fault.
So
So now we have to vote on it. Yep.
Okay, all those in favor of approving PP 21A as amended or with the new form rates, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against say nay. Motion is approved.
Do you want me to read Mary's motion? Because this last one is Mary's motion, but it needs to be acted on.
Yeah.
All right. I make a motion to enter into a contract with Public Resources to represent the district in the acquisition of financing to make the needed repair to the Marina seawall and other capital improvements. Need a second?
Do I
I'll
have a
second the motion. I'll second the motion.
Any discussion?
So is this
This-
absolutely required before we could obtain the financing?
Yes, I'm going to speak for Mary, and I hope I don't really goof this thing up also. We have gone out to Iberia Bank, and what they are only going to accommodate us was a 10-year loan. We started doing research. We've got in touch with a couple of companies, and this company is called the Public Resource Advisory Group. They are in business for since 1985, and they specialize in providing finance and debt related advice to the local governments and their agencies and special districts. What they will do for the amount of $12,500 is send out requests for proposals to several different banks to get us a 15-year loan, as well as being bonded and tax exempt. Right now, the interest rates are starting to go up by the federal government, and we want to get this process as fast as we can because the Seawall date is scheduled to start on May 1st, and I hate to push that back since it's going to be probably a 4 to 6 month project. This money, that the $12,500 will be rolled right back into the 1.5 million that we're trying to buy. So there's no increase in anything else other than that. And I'm sure there's going to be a bond fee in there, as well as an additional attorney fees to review all this.
Are these
But
services?
but it's all in there.
Are these services that we originally thought we would get from Blaylock Walters?
No, Blaylock Walters, they know the financial system or where to lead people, but to actually sit down and do the actual bonding negotiations with the banks and stuff is out of their realm.
Okay.
And I know Mary well enough to know that she wouldn't recommend spending dollars needlessly.
Nope.
And she sees a big value in this if she's proposing it.
I don't question Mary. I just
Right,
want to
no, I-
understand what we're signing up for. know?
It's vital.
Yeah, no, I didn't, I wasn't thinking you,
No.
but I was just
Okay.
saying,
Yeah.
I know how much she watches the pennies.
Mhm.
So we had a discussion, all in favor of approving the
Proposal,
motion,
the
or
motion, yeah.
proposal. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay. Motion is passed. Okay, that was the last one, right?
Yep.
Okay, could I have the reports from clubs and organizations, please?
Hello, everybody. Joe Carey, 1803 Wisconsin, speaking on behalf of the Pickleball Club. We have a whole new slate of officers, and we're moving forward. We want to thank the board for your patience and cooperation with us during this transitional period. We did have a last-minute end of the season party that really wasn't planned, but we wound up getting over 45 people to attend, which we thought was really nice, and it was really a great time. As was mentioned by Kathy, we have volunteered as a club to help out with the April 9th dance. And at our little party down there, I passed around the sheet. We got over 20 people who volunteered to help out with that. So really what I'm trying to say is that the Pickleball Club wants to be part of Trailer Estates, we want to work and cooperate with the board and with the park, okay? And I especially want to thank Lori and Bill and the maintenance crew, because working with them has been really, really easy. So we're very grateful for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, board. Thank you for your service.
Good morning.
I'm Archie Canterbury, 6802 Massachusetts Street. I'm the president of the Horseshoe Club. And I've given you a formal printout of the proposal, but I'm just going to keep it short. We maintain the pits, no cost to the park, and we try to exist and try to keep it looking good. And in our opinion, and we travel around the different parks in the area, Anna Maria Island and stuff, we have the best pits in Manatee County, bar none. But we're running out of space. We've started a new cornhole gathering over there on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the effort of Brooks Nelson and his wife. And trying to store all the boards and 14 shovels, 14 rakes, and 14 brooms and all the horseshoes and stuff in those little small shed we've got. We've run out of room. And so we've obtained the funding for a 10 by 12 metal structure shed. Looks beautiful. I provided the Secretary President photos of the shed that we've chosen. We've obtained the funding for it. So it'd be no cost to you. It'd be an asset on your property to allow us to spread our stuff out. It'll give Bocce Ball a little more room for storage because we're occupying stuff behind their shed right now because we've got our saw horses and stuff out there. So it'd benefit the park immensely. We look forward to having your approval to place it on your property as a long-term asset for you, and working with the art committee on the placement. So we're in compliance with all the setback regulations. We know where we want it. And just hoping that you'll give us permission to move forward with it. We'll do all the land balancing and everything it takes. Won't take any maintenance people's efforts. We'll do it all as we on maintaining the pits and putting the stake system in. We love our sport. We love our park.
What was the cost?
The cost on the shed is $3,620.
For a 10 by 12.
10 by 12
metal
galvanized
is
metal.
$3,000.
Yep.
And that's going to come out of the beautification committee.
We had 3 quotes, and that was the low quote. We had them all the way up to what, $6,500. The cost of metal is outrageous right now.
Wow. Did you get a chance to read what was passed
No,
out?
I left my copy in with the
Do you want to, I'm getting ready to whip through it if you're not. Up to you. Archie, we haven't had a chance to digest what you gave us before the meeting because we were getting ready for the meeting and then we've been in the meeting. So he's trying to peruse through it. I'm personally am not comfortable giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down because we haven't had a chance to digest it and not all the board members have seen what your proposal.
And again, we're not asking for funding for the board.
I
We're just
understand.
asking for permission to
well,
place.
but it is
understand.
though, if where'd you get the funding? From the beautification.
committee, yeah.
So technically, that's our money.
And that might become a problem because the funding, the 36, let's just rock with 3,500.
Yeah.
If it's 3,500, when the beautification said they wanted to spend the 5,300 on what they had already planned, that only left 20 some hundred left over, which is below the cost of the shed. So the shed
They
is,
had already taken the cost
That
of the
was
shed
already
out of their money.
included. That
They've
Oh.
started their balance, pulled it out. That's what's left over.
no, that's a
They're getting a no
misunderstanding.
back there.
no.
So
They only approved like 5,200 for the 3 projects, the lights,
53.
the spa, those 53. the
53, yeah.
Lights, the spa, and the furniture for the pool.
Right.
That didn't include 3,600 for that, which only left them a balance of 2268, I think it was.
6641.
Okay, so the funding's not there.
We will get it funded.
And that's fine. And there's things, I haven't even seen exactly where you want to put it. I don't know how that
If you're
translates.
familiar with the Horseshoe Pits, we have two sets of
them all?
pits.
No.
We have 5 pits in a row, and we have 2 that's to the north of those 5. And there's a big tree sitting there with a scoreboard platform. We're going to come off the corner of that tree, which will be 2.5 foot from the north pits. And when it comes out 12 feet, there's an electrical outlet and a water bib there, hose bib. It will stop 2 feet short of that. So it'll give us easy access to wire into that shed, because the shed is wired for electrical and lights, has one outlet and lights. And it will give us keep total access. We won't restrict anything, won't block any pits. We currently have a platform that we put over top of dirt that we store to maintain our pits. We would move that to the north end of the north pits. And we'd move our scoreboard underneath the tree so it would remain in the shade, the tree that's in the center of the pits over there. And we have a post that we normally hung an archaic speaker on. We don't use that system now. We just have a boom box that we Bluetooth with. So again, I think we have the logistics worked out. I think it'll look beautiful. We're gonna get with Bill and the maintenance department and make sure we choose a color, because they're talking about painting the sheds over there. Would get it coordinated with that so it'll go well. It'd be a great asset for the trailer estates.
I don't disagree with that, Archie. Please hear me loud and clear.
understand.
I'm just making sure we've got our I's dotted and our T's crossed. He just said electrical to the shed, so that's an electrician that has to tie in. Okay.
So you only have 3 sets of cornhole board.
Currently, we have 3.
How many do you plan on getting for a 10 by 12 shed?
Well, but this is to expand right now, because
Horseshoe clubs.
we've got too many tools in the current shed. Because when we host a tournament, we've got chairs and seating. We've got 18 pairs of shoes in there, 14 shovels, 14 rigs, 14 brooms, a flag, buckets to tote stuff. We've got tools for maintenance. I host the scoreboard, the sound system, and all that stuff in my place, because we don't have room out there anymore.
Help me out. You got 14 brooms, 14 rakes. How many pits do you have?
We have 7.
Why do you
that's
need 2 for every
Both
pit?
Each
ends.
end.
Both
Oh,
ends.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. That
Good
makes sense.
question.
I knew you'd be able to answer that.
So we
is
just
this-
run out of room, and when
Yeah,
we
no,
did our events this year, we
I
take all
definitely
the cornhole
appreciate.
boards out so we can get to our horseshoe stuff. And then when they want to play cornhole, then they have to reverse the process, because it's
Is
just,
this replacing the current shed or in addition to the current shed?
we looked
No,
at the addition. There's electrical on the outside of that shed, so then we'd have to relocate that electrical, and then it would impede on a picnic table that sits over there with umbrella over for bocce ball, so it would mess up the.
But is the current shed going to stay where it is? Or are you going to get rid of it?
It'll be totally different. Right now, the 2 sheds are adjacent to the bocce courts. This shed would be in between our horseshoe pits.
Yeah.
And that would save us time, because right now, when we set up for a tournament, we carry all the utensils to the north end of the south pits and to all the north pits. So most of the tools are used in the center.
Yeah.
Not where they're at now. So it would
Right.
make it more beneficial to the players on a daily basis. So.
I don't have a problem with the locations.
Yeah.
The additional shed and everything else. Is just where the funding is going to
we
come
just can't-
from. And it's not going to come from beautification.
Are we going to, we're not taking cat calls from the audience. Would we consider the balance of the beautification towards the shed
and then them figure out fundraise whatever the remainder? Would that be? Or are you saying flat out no funding from?
Flat out no for the funding for the, of the beautification.
Okay, so they would have,
They'd have to come up
you'd
with
have
the
to come up with the
money.
3,600, whatever it is, through whatever
Well,
fundraising you.
that's
might-
my opinion.
Yeah.
Flat out no.
See what Sandy
to
said.
take
I'd
it.
like to explain, clarify the information regarding beautification. The 7,300 that we're turning over to you guys, the 5,300 that we had slated for maintenance, a portion of those bills have already been paid and has already come in. So there was the amount that they needed. We still had $4,000 of that income left if they so needed that amount of money. It sounds as if they don't. But it was broke down so that it should not be a problem when you look at the checking account.
Do we have that balance sheet? I haven't seen it. So
Yeah, the only thing I had to run on was what Sandy said this morning.
Yeah.
You know, the
And-
7366 and
Correct.
then minus the 53.
And that is correct, what's in the checking account. That's the remainder of all of our
Right,
funds.
but there
Okay.
wasn't a good clarification of how much
Yeah.
of that 5,300 has already been
Okay.
paid. And that's the big dark secret for us is we don't get it. Okay,
well, let me go this way with it. Until I see the balance sheet of what's been paid and all that stuff, then I'm gonna reject that and then bring this back to the board at the, what's my next meeting? The
February
18th,
4th.
February 4th meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that? Till I can see that for the funding.
Well, I was hoping to get faster approval. I understand the
Yeah.
delay, but we wanted to do it while we have the seasonal people here because that's our muscle to help do land balancing and stuff. So,
Unfortunate.
all right. Thank you for your time.
Sandy Stevens, 1814 Minnesota Avenue, and I would like to make an announcement that the Beautification Club will be having a first meeting on March 23rd in Marks Hall at 1:30 p.m. And everybody's welcome to attend, unless you go over the room seating, then we have to throw you out. But I would like to let everybody know that you're welcome if you want to become on the commit, I want to say committee all my life, on the club. Thank you, everybody.
is that the committee's meeting time? See, technically a club can't get a reservation without a week's notice. And the room's already reserved for the beautification committee and we
If-
haven't decided what we're doing.
If that's the beautification committee's regular scheduled time is under the board, that doesn't work. Okay. Yeah.
Carrie Ellenberger, 6810 Massachusetts. I am the current president of Cook's Night Out, or known as CNO for a lot of publications. Just letting you know that our season is getting ready to start up in April. Yoo-hoo. Our first meal will be Thursday, April 7th at 5 p.m. Season runs, for people who don't know, the season runs from April through October as a summer activity for the people that stay here full time. We run with all volunteers, and of course, we're looking for volunteers, particularly those that are here year round. It's a meal that's designed for people to get out of the house without having to go out into the traffic and just get to know the neighbors that are still here. We do have a piece coming out in the Tribune, we think, that gives you more information about what we do and where some of our funding goes to. One of the big glitches that we've been experiencing is last minute people calling in for tickets and et cetera. And we're really this year going to really try to uphold when we're done selling tickets, we're done selling tickets. We are, though, adding ticket sales to the bingo nights of the same weeks that we sell tickets like we used to do before COVID. And I think that's about all I have to say. I thank you.
Are there any other clubs or organizations?
Yeah, this is John Good, 6913 Marlin Lane on behalf of the Homeowners Club. We canceled our meeting. We meet the first Tuesday, 1 p.m. in the large hall. And the next meeting will be the day following the next board meeting, April 5th at 7 o'clock. And we'll be discussing the things that we discussed on February 1st and the things that are discussed in the board meeting and the workshop, where I understand you'll be answering questions. So just you're all invited to attend, the trustees and homeowners, except the trustees, because of the issues that may come up that may be voted on, won't be able to discuss or participate in the discussions. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Dottie, are you on?
Yes, I am. Good morning from sunny Minnesota. Dottie Deer Wester, 1804 Ohio Avenue, reporting on the computer club. We have 2 new officers for the club. One is our new vice president, Denise Beauchamp, and our treasurer, Larry Goudreau. I appreciate them stepping up to fill those positions. Our next meeting and last for the season is scheduled for April 13th. That will be the last one for this season. The next one will start in December. Encourage everyone to come. We're going to be doing some practical work. So bring your laptops, cell phones, tablets. Tables will be set up so that people can practice what we train. Our membership meeting starts at 10. Our group training starts at 10:45 in Marks Hall. And just to comment on the previous discussion of the horseshoe, shouldn't that have been a workshop issue? Isn't that the process? It sounded like the whole discussion was a workshop topic.
No.
I just wanted to mention that. So anyway, hope people come to the computer club meeting in April. Thank you.
Dottie,
Yes,
you said that the new treasurer was who?
Larry Goudreau.
Spell his last name, please.
Let me look it up here and make sure I get it right. Just a second.
Okay.
I can tell you. I always misspell it. Gaudreau.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other clubs or organizations that want to report? Yes.
Before we adjourn, my apologies. A resident back at the beginning of the meeting asked about directories, and I meant to respond to that. I've given TJ the approval to do the directories. There's been such a beehive of stuff going on in the office that I'm not sure what the status is, but the things that she was working on all had to do with dollars and whatnot. So I will pick up and pursue the directory, but we are working on trying to get a new directory. Sorry.
And with that, I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 11:21. Could we take a 5-minute recess before we get back into it? So it should be not too long.
Sure.
And if you do, please turn off your microphones. That one I try to make sure on. Where is Sandy?
Okay.
Are we ready, Bill? Yes, she's gone. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and open up the trustees workshop for March 21st, 2022, and call it to order at 11:33. Are there any additional items that any one of the trustees would like to add to the workshop? Hearing none. The first item we have was the recurring workshop agenda for the Seawall. And there are no changes yet for the Seawall budget other than what we've talked about this morning with the Prague Association or associates trying to obtain a better interest rate as well as the 15-year funding. But what we did want to do is look at how we're going to propose our future meetings. On today, we've already gained the assumption to distribute the funding as we've got it and secure the bond to finance a seawall as well as the other capital improvements that we've been included into the 1.5. Just so everybody knows, the 1.5 is there's $100,000 out there for the program manager, as well as looking at a management firm for trailer estates. We were looking at renovating the laundry room, moving the laundry room into a different area, reducing it down from the 10 washers and dryers that we currently have, and moving that down to 2 commercial washers and 2 commercial dryers only. The rest of the laundry area that would totally be renovated. The piping, the plumbing, the lights, and a couple other things would be demolished. That room would then turn into an activity center to move the pool table, various card games, and some other items into that space. I just forgot the square footage. Is it 1,700 square foot, Bill? 1,300 square foot. So that will eliminate some of the activities that's going on to the activity center and would free up more space for other activities as the park grows. Space here at Trailer Estates has now become a premium. That would be an exceptional idea there if we can get that through. And what was the other big one? I just forgot the other big one.
Were we talking about the storage at 10? Was that included in that?
Oh, and that's it. They expand the exercise room. So right now we have a couple pieces of equipment that's died that we're actually, I'm sorry, almost dying. So we're looking at repairing some of those, but we just bought a new elliptical bike to go in there to help out. But what we would do with the exercise room, as you face the exercise room door, you walk in with the weights and stuff, we would take the one hall or the one wall from the north side, build a doorway through there, which would go into the Wii room and expand that whole exercise out so we have more people that can get in there and use the weight rooms and the exercise room, which again is going to benefit our residents.
I'm sorry, the hallway that I see in my head is straight as you come into the exercise room, straight across
that you can go to the men's or the ladies'
Yeah,
backside?
that would be the first door to the left as you walk into the activity center.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, because that access has to stay there because that's the handicapped access to the pool.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Just so long as that,
That door stays there.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, just, because I got lost there for a second.
But those are the three major projects that we wanted to throw in there. And my estimation is this is once in a lifetime opportunity for trailer estates to improve our property values, the activity for the residents and everything else. Like it's just a great benefit. If we can't get the funding for the those three items, it'll just have to wait and come up years later, whenever the park can go ahead and start setting stuff aside or setting money aside for that. But anyway, getting back to this, like we talked about on April 4th, we're going to have the continuation of the workshop to hold the town hall to discuss both the property manager, if the residents would like that, as well as the difference between the management firm. Then we would continue on April, excuse me, on April 18th to complete our all of the agenda items that we'll have for that board meeting. And we just won't adjourn. We'll go right into the workshop to determine what will be included as the base results from the town hall. If the only residents would like just a park manager or not want a park manager or a marketing firm, then the budget hearings would continue and I'd just go ahead and close the workshop. We have to pass the budget. I'm sorry, we have to have the prepared budget by April. We don't have to pass that budget, so we can go from the April 18th meeting into May 2nd, depending on the outcome of the town hall, and then hold our public hearing. And then on May 2nd, go ahead and pass the budget after the public hearings.
So this is an A or B situation.
just-
So which are you going
so I
with,
can-
A or B?
Whatever the board would like, I'm here for both. So
I kind of like the option A, which is the top half, which is having it done and workshopped and then the hearing and everything on the 18th. And us adopt the budget on the 18th.
Mhm. Yes.
That's,
Very much
that's,
so.
if you're asking for an opinion, I like A.
Mhm.
I'm open to both. So we're gonna go option A.
Well, I'm only one. What's the rest of the board
Well,
think?
I just seen
Yeah.
four of their
Everybody was
heads-
shaking their heads while I
four of
was-
their heads were
okay.
shaking.
Okay.
Dwayne, I have a question. So if we went with option A, then so we would adopt a budget on April 18th versus, is there any way to combine the two? Is there any need to do that where we could adopt the budget in May during the May 2nd meeting? I'm just saying, because it's,
Say that again.
well, I'm looking at the option A.
Mhm.
And I love the town hall. I think the more input from the residents we can gather, the better. I think it would make it a much smoother process. But so if we went with option A, we would adopt the budget on April 18th. Am I reading that correctly?
Correct. We would go through the agenda
Okay.
items that for that board meeting.
Okay.
And then I just won't adjourn the meeting. I'll go we'll just break for an hour
Okay.
and then we'll come back
Okay.
to that board meeting and go through all the budget documents
Okay.
again. And then hold the public hearing at that same workshop and then close it.
Because I've never done this before. Historically speaking, if you have a lot of residents coming and saying, what about this, what about that during that open forum on April 18th, does that give the board enough time to make adjustments to vote on the budget the same day?
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And now the April 4th meeting is only going to be for the park manager or a
Right.
marketing firm. That's the only two things that we will be discussing. There won't be anything else on the budget.
Okay.
So from I'm gathering, we're all gonna go with the
We like option A.
option A.
All right, we.
No,
No, the
no,
18th.
by April 18th.
We're,
Yeah, well, we've gone through three. We've already had three options. Now we've had draft 1 and draft 2, and then draft 3 from, I think was March 7th that we just passed that out. So we would go back through all of those, listen to the residents for those two items.
Where's draft 3?
It was in last week's, it was just a single sheet that summed up everything that was what we were trying to do.
it should have been attached to last week's agenda.
Yeah.
Might have been passed out separate.
No, it was part of the,
Was it attached to the agenda? I usually get my stuff out of here,
it was a single sheet of paper.
right? That's not there.
It's on the back of, no. Was this on the back of PP 38, flood and property insurance? No, that's not it.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Is that it?
No, that's
No,
the,
That's
that's
the
the-
insurance summary.
yeah, that's the insurance summary.
We don't have it.
I'll get you a copy of it. It's in the office. Any other discussion on that, on the seawall?
So a question about the seawall.
Yeah.
Are the engineering reports available for us to see?
Oh, you betcha. You know, there's two of them in there.
Okay. Are those public record?
Oh, you betcha.
So based on what in the residents' comments, anybody who wanted to see them can see them if they come to the office.
Yeah, in fact,
Okay.
the resident that made the comment, I provided him with those two, you know.
Okay.
I won't go any further. Okay, any other discussion on? The second item we have then is the flood and property insurance. And again, that's coming from Mary on that. And what she has reported here is the recent renewals for a flood insurance, which she's been checking on for the firehouse fire district. And what we have up here for our assets, our current market value of our buildings are all outdated. So we have more assets than what we really have liability. And what she would like to do is support to obtain a current market value for our buildings and the contents with FMIT, which is our insurance company, to determine what if any changes that need to be made in both. And I think on the back of her proposal, oh my God.
Yeah, it's on the backside.
I wish I had more paper.
No,
It's right there. Okay, so I'll just read through these real quickly so the residents can get it. But anyway, the post office / the laundry, the building is only insured for $206,200 and the contents of $1,200. The wood shop is $168,300 with the contents of only $13,008. I know we have more equipment in there, more than $13,008. The activity center is only insured for 659,000 and the contents at 44,000, way far below. The swimming pool is 181,770. And if you think we can get a swimming pool the size of what we have in all the surrounding areas for 181,000, I've got a bridge for you. The marina itself, the marina building and the piers is only 258,000, but yet we're looking just at million on the seawalls itself. The maintenance building is 153,000, but the contents set at 19,100. The main office with the large and small hall is $1,465,000 with the contents at 71,000. If you take a look at the equipment, everything we have inside the small halls, Mark's Hall, as well as the large hall, we're really short. The shuffleboard structure is 122,375, and I don't have any contents down there for the horseshoe pits and the shoes and cornhole, if that's what we're going to go with. So what she has asked is if you could help her with working with FMIT on seeing just what that rate is going to be. And again, that's going to depend on just how much the flood insurance rates goes up. Is going to depend on what we can actually do with the 1.5 borrowing that we're looking at. So some things may have to come out of the budget. That'll all come up in the budget hearings, but I would just love to see the improvements for the park and the residents to get everything up to date. Okay, that's all I have. Is there any other comments? But Pete, if you would help Mary with that.
I'll follow FMIT.
So
Great,
just to
thank you.
put this into context, so this is what this Cliff Notes is, we're grossly underinsured, sounds like, if this is what it's based on.
Absolutely. And it's I'm not really going to go over it. It is really hard to get information back from FMIT as well as our League of Cities. It took me months to get them to come in and even do the assessment of our buildings, the pictures, in case if we had a hurricane or anything else that came through, as well as the contents. So this is the second half of getting all the contents and everything else. So we're actually going through here in the next month and taking a total inventory of every piece of equipment, chairs, tables, everything, to come up with the total asset.
And you really don't know what these figures represent. Like there's a co-insurance clause in the policy, and it could be only a percentage of what the market value is. So that's something that need to be cleared up.
Yep. Okay, so if there's no other discussion, the last item we had then was the Tribune policy. Lori?
It's not the last item, it's the third item. We've got four items.
Oh, four?
It's okay. It's all right. I just wanted to talk about updating PP14, which is the Tribune policy. And you can see in the draft, the new verbiage that I put in there is number 1. And I pulled that verbiage from the actual Tribune, which is the next piece that you've got. And I circled where it details. And I don't think it's appropriate that we only have the Tribune policy in the Tribune. It needs to be in our Tribune policy. So I'm just recommending that we update PP14. And what I'm asking to add is that articles must be submitted by the 1st of the month to be printed in the following month's Tribune. The office staff appreciates articles submitted via email because they're able to copy and paste them, where to send the email submissions, where the paper submissions go, and the deadlines. So that, I just think that needs to be part of the Tribune policy.
I do too.
So I can bring it back at the bring it back as a motion at the next board meeting. Thank you.
And
then number 4
was the communications with Kathy.
Me. Okay. I have 2 ideas I'd like to bring to the board. We have a multitude of ways to learn about things in the park, but we don't have one specific way. I mean, if you want to find out what's happening on a certain day, you can go by the post office, look at the whiteboard. It may or may not be current. You check Facebook, may not be there. You could check the activity calendar, but not everything on there because they depend on room reservations only. I'm saying this because I'm a relatively new resident to Trailer Estates. I've only been here 3 years. And when I moved in here, it was very difficult to try to find out what anything was going on, unless you just ask people. So I have two ideas. One is to have a Board of Trustees Facebook page without comments. It can be set up where comments are restricted. And this would only be used by the board. And the administrator of the Facebook page would have the responsibility of putting down the activities for the week. So you'd have one place to go and you would find out where anything is going on, whether it be wood shop Tuesday night, painting wooden toys, to water aerobics at a certain time, to anything that's going on. We could really advertise our meetings and what we're going to be talking about. And it would be a one-stop place. And again, no comments. It would be information only. And it can be set up where somebody cannot put comments on there. The other idea I have is a little bit different, but it would be a live feed on 732 where a resident, a volunteer, could actually be recorded to give the weekly activities for residents, like Mondays with Mary or Tuesdays with Terry, where you would sit down and have a resident actually be recorded. It would be on a feed on 732 to talk about what's going on during the week. Not everyone does Facebook, not everyone does 732, but it would be a way to capture. And I think the reason why is that I'm hearing from a lot of folks that although we communicate well, we're not reaching everyone. I believe it's better to over communicate than under communicate. And I would be fine in researching these and finding out what needs to be done. But we are becoming so big and we're becoming so complex. And we have people coming in here every day. They're moving in. They want to be involved, but they don't know how to find out things. I think it would be a way to foster more participation. And I'm fine with researching it, depending upon what you all think. So.
Couple of comments from me. The Facebook page, I don't mind that. That can be managed. The filming and putting a person on 732 is only going to reach those residents that are here during summertime. Once everybody departs, I'm going to hear the same complaint. Good idea there. How good are you with Facebook?
I'm not bad.
Good, you're it.
Well, all right, I have a question. We're saying go one place, find everything you want in one place. And it's one place right now, it's on the website.
It's on the website.
We're reinventing the wheel because you can go to the website and you can go day by day what all the activities are, when they are, where they are.
It's not. It's on the activity page. You're right. As long as they have a room reservation, but it doesn't go into the pool or the wood shop. I know. I use that calendar all the time, and you're absolutely right. It does.
And that's what we've been trying.
Right.
And there was a miscommunication with my helper. But we were trying to contact all the clubs, groups, and organizations and say, hey, look, put your information, give me the information. We'll put it on the website. I have 8.
I know.
Water aerobics could put their stuff on there and they could say what time, what day, what. Same thing with wood shop. And it would be a one-stop shop because what you're proposing in my mind with Facebook is now you're saying, don't go to the website, go to Facebook. And so now we've got 2 places that we can go.
Right.
And which one is correct?
I think they both could be. The added thing with Facebook though, is that if you are away from Trailer Estates, you go back home and you hear about Florida weather, you hear about storms, and they make the fate of Florida look like it's about pea size. and you hear a storm is coming and you're worried about your property, or you don't know that your lawn is not being taken care of. It would be a way to get information out to those residents who are gone for the summer. And I think sometimes we forget about that. And it would be, and I know that you may, yes, it is the owner's responsibility to check. We were in that role for a year, and I do understand, and we did check and we did call. But you don't know if something's not being done until you're told it's not being done. And I think it would be a way to also say, you know, you've heard about this stuff coming in, this is what's going on.
All right.
So
With the, sorry.
that's okay.
I mean, are you proposing that we're gonna post on the Facebook page whose lawn isn't mowed?
No. I wouldn't do that. I would never cause embarrassment to anyone. But maybe say, by the way, there's quite a few lawns that haven't been mowed. Have you checked
Yeah.
your lawn service company? It's just a reminder. And I know it's the owner's responsibility. I get it. I live here year round. I saw what happened last summer. But it's just, if you're not here, you forget. And so it's just a little reminder. By the way, there's a lot of lawns that aren't being mowed. Have you checked your lawn service lately? It may not work. Who knows? But it's just to add communication.
So what's the difference between having a Facebook page and having our website updated and accurately?
That's fine too.
Yeah.
That's fine too.
Because the website, I find the website cumbersome at best, you know, but I'm concerned that I don't want to make the website not the official outlet. And then and I understand you're going to reach more people because people turn the computer on, they click on Facebook, they're going to go there. Oh yeah, it's just one extra click and then you got it. But I'm concerned about keeping the two outlets in step with each other.
Okay. No, that's fine too. I mean,
Yeah.
I just want it to be where if you didn't know anything about, if you were new, and because I was in that situation where I didn't know where to go, didn't know what to do. Everybody's in that situation when you move here.
Yeah.
You just don't know unless you happen to have family here. We didn't know a soul. It's just a way to reach out.
Didn't our attorney once have some comments about the board being on Facebook?
He did.
Yeah, but we can't respond in violation of the sunshine law, but there is a way to set up a Facebook page, make your announcements, and only the administrator can put those comments on there with no reply from anybody, including the board of trustees or the residents. You know, that is doable.
What?
The only thing, I'm sorry, I've got to say this. We've discussed communications about 5, 6, I don't know, 10 times, but right now we have 5 different methods of communications. The board of trustees is the governing body. If you want to know what's going on with the board of trustees or the policies of the park, you have to come to a board meeting or the workshop, preferably the workshop, because that's where you really get into it before it's voted on. You have the Tribune, you have Channel 732, the Board of Trustees, and 2 others, the bulletin boards and everything else up there. But learning about the park is a participatory involvement. And if you don't want to come to the board meetings or get out and walk around the park and look at the signs and everything else we have up, shame on you. It's the same thing as if you're going to go away for the summer and you don't put emergency phone numbers down because you're too lazy to come in and do that. And then you worry about your house if you have a thunderstorm here. You've got to participate as a resident. Okay,
And-
I'm done.
Okay, on the storms thing, CERT has you can sign up with CERT and they'll communicate with you in a storm situation. So we're reinventing a wheel there. This is something that I had on the website.
Yeah.
And the former chairman had me remove it. I wanted the list, and I like the list of what they're doing, what they're about, that sort of stuff.
but can I put that back up on as a list of activities at the beginning? No, not in that format because there's mistakes and that's just
Oh,
my
yeah,
draft
yeah.
copy. But it would list out all of the activities, who's responsible. It would not list their phone number, and then it would list the days that they've got reservations, if they've got reservations. Woodshop is on there, but I don't have any dates. They could communicate those dates to me. I can add them, not a big thing. But that's just a list. That looks very similar to what's at the post office, but this is a comprehensive list of everybody who's turned in a PP 39 to be recognized as a club, group, or organization. And I could put that back at the beginning and then still have those individual, this is what we do, this is how we operate, cost a quarter to play euchre, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the more communications is fine with me, but what I just looked at there, say there's 20 activities per page, you've got 3 pages, so that's 60, and you've got 8 that you've got listed on the.
Exactly, and I
And
had,
again, it's
I had
no
a helper.
participation from those clubs or organizations.
I had a
so-
helper calling, trying to get that information, and there was miscommunication because the helper asked for room reservations and PP 39s, and that wasn't what I was after. I'm after, what are you doing? And whatever you feed me, like, I just got a communication from Bob from Pickleball, and he said, we've changed our rules. I said, look, create a PDF, send it to me, I'll put it up on the website. Piece of cake. Glad to do it for any of the other clubs, groups, and organizations. Create a PDF, I'll throw it up on the website. Not a problem, but it's not being done. So it's been my conundrum.
And then,
So-
and just another comment, I think we just kind of approved the $380 for all the sticks to be handed out.
$870.
Oh, I'm
for
sorry,
flash drive?
$870 to be handed out to all the new residents. So I'll help you work with the Facebook page as long as it doesn't eliminate or that our website has to be the main instrument for people to learn from. Don't say it, Dwayne. Facebook to me would be secondary.
And Kathy, too, some of the flyers, like you create a flyer for a particular group that's coming in on Thursday night. I have never received a copy of that to put on the website. Is that what you're putting up on the Facebook page? Why hasn't it been communicated to me prior to this? Follow me? I can do these things.
Right.
You just have to give them to me and tell me, or ask me, whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's not happening. I am not running around and saying, have you got anything for me? Have you got anything for me? Have you got anything for you? Have you got it?
But even if it's weekly, you can take him, put him in, take him down. We can
I
do
can
that. We
throw
can
'em
do
up,
that
yeah.
quickly. Okay,
I have a question.
okay.
When was our website designed? How old is it? How old's the
So-
design of our website?
About 3 years.
Yeah.
We had it, when we switched from computer assist to Big Fish redesigned our website.
So you are the one that maintains the website?
Yes, me and Big Fish. There's,
So on top of all your other secretary things, you do the website.
yeah, but
That
thus
seems,
far,
that seems like an awful lot piled on you.
it's just paperwork. It takes me 6 minutes to upload the agendas. And I'm not getting flyers on any sort of
Yeah.
regular basis, but I can upload them, but I'm not an advertisement for individual groups. I am for the trustees.
So you'll have the same things to overcome if you do it on Facebook as we're having on the website. You still got to get the information to put it up. That's for sure.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick my neck out. I think the website looks like it's antiquated. It does not look like
It does.
it may be 3 years old, but it looks like it's 15 years old to me.
Why, what is it? What is
It's
it? that
just,
it-
it's just
lacking?
stark. It's just very stark and like to go to the calendar and stuff. And I'm looking for a header that says calendar and you got to go under about us or activities.
It's
It seems like,
activities
it's too
drop-down.
many layers in the drop downs. But I mean, I know that's not a 2-minute, I know that's a can of worms we're opening. But I think my fear is that we're talking about doing a Facebook page because the website seems ineffective. And I'm not sure that's the right approach. I'm not sure
Maybe
we
update the
shouldn't make the website for.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily want my hands in Mark Zuckerberg's fate, or my fate in Mark Zuckerberg's hands on Facebook,
Well, one thing that I recall from when we did the redesign,
Mhm.
was that we have so many pieces
Mhm.
that they being Big Fish,
Mhm.
recommended the headers,
Mhm.
and I struggled with the headers and
Mhm.
the word defining what was actually below in the information.
Mhm.
But at the time, and I bought into it because I don't know,
Yeah.
they said you could only have so many headers across the top to do drop downs.
Mhm.
Okay. And so we worked at trying to make those the best that we could do. I'm certainly open for suggestion. Just keeping in mind that whatever we do, I only update it. I don't design it.
Right.
So that would be something that would have to be communicated with Big Fish. And I'm sure that there's a cost involved. So what,
yeah.
we fix it. We do, I'm just saying, some things I can do, there's no cost. Some things I can't do, and there's a cost, and that would have some sort of probably several $1,000 cost to it.
And I'm not trying to throw shade on Big Fish, but I'm not sure that, I mean, they may be very, very good at IT, but I don't know that that's the same as being good at web design. I'm not sure we don't need,
They had a section that was web design.
Did they?
I didn't deal with the same folks that I
Okay.
deal with for IT.
All right.
That's not to say that they're the at all. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
at all. I'm just saying I was not working with the same individual that was designing our IT, that designed our website. It was somebody different.
I think, once you're here for a while, you learn to navigate the website. But for the person who's thinking about buying here, wonder what this is all about. They're going to go, what's this all about when they're done, I'm afraid.
If you go to the homepage on the website, in the paragraph that says about us, it talks about a welcome package, and it's got a hyperlink to the welcome package. And like the second page or third page of the welcome package is a breakdown of the website and how to navigate and get the data that you want. I'm not sure how else I can advertise it to get it out there.
I'm not asking, I'm not asking you to fix it.
No, but I'm open to hearing
Yeah.
how to fix it and what can I possibly do.
Web
And-
design is a whole industry, man.
At one time there, Debbie Best worked on, Debbie Best and I think Karen Harker, and if I got the names wrong, I apologize. They worked on a video, and there was a video on our old website. They had a video that they put together that you could say how to use the website, like the welcome package. You click it and it started a video and it walked you through the website.
But if you had to use if you had to watch an instructional video to use LL Bean's website, they'd be out of business. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I think I've kind of hijacked this maybe from where we started.
No, it's fine. I
But-
just think it would just be nice. And so I'll give you the 2 flyers because I really
Yeah.
didn't know I could give you flyers. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the flyers for Showtime and dances today.
Yeah,
I
I've
didn't know.
got the list at the bottom of current events. There's the Showtime list that had all of the people that were coming for the whole season.
Okay.
Okay, but I've never been given an individual flyer for.
Oh, see, those
date.
I print off myself at home because I don't get those. Those come up entertainers, but I'll give you the flyers for the dances.
Okay, if you can attach them as a PDF to an email and email it to
Sure,
me,
I can do that.
that's the easiest for me to work with, because then I can just download the PDF to my computer and then upload it to the website.
Sure.
3-second thing.
I can do that.
Okay, cool. Then I can do that too. And that will help.
Yeah.
Okay. What you're talking about putting up on a possible Facebook page with the weekly events, what's going on for the week. If somebody wants to produce that, send it to me. I'll put it up on the website. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have the time to produce it.
Right.
Okay, but I'll happily send it to me as a PDF and I'll put it up. I will say that over the summer, it will be far more difficult for me because for me to do anything with the website, I have to get in the car. I have to drag to someplace who has Wi-Fi, cross my fingers, their Wi-Fi is working, and then sit there in the car and do whatever needs doing. So it's a slower process because generally the closest Wi-Fi to me is about 30 miles.
Where do you
And
live?
in the middle of nothing. We're right at the corner where Midland County, Gladwin County, and Bay County all come together in the middle of nothing.
Wow.
I can sometimes go to McDonald's Wi-Fi, which is only about 12 miles, but sometimes they let me use it and sometimes they don't. They want me to sign up and download crap and put their app on my computer and I don't want to. So it's a crapshoot whether I can get it on their Wi-Fi or not. So anyway, that's where we're at. So through the summer, it's a little slower process. It's not as easy right now. If you emailed it to me, I'm going to be working on minutes. As soon as I'm done with minutes, I get that email and I can flip over at the house and take care of doing that. It's not going to be that nice over the summer. Still do my best.
So
But,
yeah, I don't do summer activities anyway, so it's okay.
okay. Oh, well, I said all that for nothing.
So the way we're leaving this is we will investigate a Facebook page.
So you want me to do that?
Yeah, I don't think, I don't think we shouldn't.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think we
Okay,
shouldn't
then I won't.
consider it, but I don't. I'm still in favor of the website
I
being,
am too. but-
being the
one place that you go for all
source,
the information.
but I think it's got to be better.
So
We'll
then
work
we
on
will
making it
look,
better.
then we will start looking with Big Fish
Mm.
to update the website, but that'll have to come back to another workshop
Yeah.
for the whole.
I don't
total
think it's a
website
5-minute
design.
process you're talking about here.
But to me, the website is the place for everybody to go to one location. I can't see it, but
Can you reach me, Lori?
I'm sorry?
Can you reach me before I say this? I think we need I think we need a webmaster. I think it's crazy that you maintain the website as the secretary. I think it's a ridiculous overload on you.
Well, all right, here's the problem. I volunteered to be the webmaster.
Oh.
mhm.
All right, so as a resident, I have a right to volunteer
Okay.
for things.
I just think, okay,
All right,
that's different.
we've kind of sort of merged them together, but it's not a secretary duty. You can check the book.
Yeah.
There's a separate title for webmaster. And I volunteered.
Mhm.
And there was a time when I had someone that assisted me that took the agenda load and whatnot off. But it's not that big of a
Okay.
deal. It was
Well, I'm not-
it was
and
a
I'm not
big
trying to
deal when it
downplay
was
your efforts.
designed.
I'm just saying, it seems like we're asking an awful lot of you, to me.
I know how to say no.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
trust
what
you
we're
to
gonna
that.
do then, not to belabor everything, was just look with Big Fish to see about the improvements to the website.
Right, I don't know how to, all right, how do you quantify what it's gonna cost to fix a website that you can't tell them what's fixed? What are you gonna do to fix it?
I think we
What do
need
you-
to,
what
I
do you
think.
want?
Well,
I
I'd like
think
to
it's-
investigate what
yeah.
we can improve on
Yeah.
it for the residents to come through and start taking an easier look on how to find
Yeah.
something.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how is that gonna look?
I think we need.
We'll
it's-
leave that up to Big Fish or the
Uh,
web designer.
You could ask
All right, I
themselves.
guess I'm gonna have to go to LL Bean or what?
Well,
Because we're not selling anything, you know?
I know that.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
are
yes,
we?
we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah, but
We'll beat
we're not
this one
selling product like that.
I
but
agree.
yeah.
We're not
Okay.
selling product, but
But
I
But
don't,
we want to be,
I don't
we
think,
wanna
I
have
don't
the
think we're done
information
with
out
this
there.
discussion by a long
I
way.
think we beat this one to death already, but
That's fine.
we'll look in with Big Fish and go from there.
all right, so
Um,
Lori's gonna talk to Big Fish? Yeah. Okay, fine, not a problem.
Okay, no other agenda items, any resident comments?
You want to have this open forum like we always do?
Yeah. Mind if we just have this an open forum?
That's
Or-
fine.
No, no problem.
It's not called an open forum. What the hell is it called?
Interactive.
Interactive.
Discussion, I guess.
Yeah.
Carol Duran, 6604, New Jersey. First of all, I'd like to say that I agree that the website is not user-friendly. Even when I go there and been here 10 years and I go online all the time, I can never remember where I got to go to get what I want because the titles aren't clear enough to let me know where to go. So I go 2 or 3 places before I find it. I don't think it's a big deal. I think they just need to rework it. Okay.
All right, if you have ideas on rewording those titles at the top, I would love to hear them. Do you tell me like it says about us and you think that's the wrong verbiage you want, recommend this verbiage to make it clearer? Email me.
Okay.
Email
I mean, I
me
haven't thought
that-
how to change it. I can try,
Well-
but I think that I'm not criticizing you at all.
No,
'cause you
no,
do
no, I
way too
understand,
much.
I understand. But what I'm trying to say is what word at the top would make it more,
Easier.
would make it better? And
Why does it take 3 pages to get to what's going on?
I
When you
don't,
go to About Us, you just said earlier, somebody said, at 3 pages down, you can see the activities. 3 pages is too long for a new person to know what's coming.
yeah, there's a confusion there. What I was adding is 3 pages. It would only be 1 click on the website. And then you would get a 3-page PDF that you could scroll through.
Oh, I see. I
So, yeah,
misunderstood.
that was misunderstanding. It's not 3 layers in. It's only 2 layers
Okay.
in, like most everything, 2 layers
right.
in.
All right,
All
well,
right. So anyway, think about it. All right. Sorry,
Okay.
I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
got it. That's all right. I just, I wanted to, last meeting, I thought there was going to be discussion about Park Lane. For some reason, I thought you were
So-
going to bring it up.
So here's what happened. Lori did the rewrite and I forgot to do the PP 38. So it's going to be at the next meeting.
Okay,
And I have a little more thinking to do about the rewrite too.
okay,
It has not been forgotten, but we pushed it back because
okay. I just have a comment about it,
Mhm.
that I think it's a small area.
It has to
No.
be that.
Oh, I
we're
can't
It's
discuss
only
that.
on the
Okay.
items
Only
that
to
we
the
have
4
here.
topics we had to.
Okay. And I just want to say, I know you were doing your job and I have no problem with what you did.
Okay.
I just have a problem with the space and all that.
Yep.
Okay, and I guess I'm kind of, one other thing was when we get an extension to the exercise room, I would love to see an inverter. Because that's something that people with bad backs, I had one, it's just a table that goes like this and it gives you tons of relief. And but it's not really exercise.
I don't know if I want to get into the medical field.
Yeah, the liabilities on
Yeah.
that with.
I'll look
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
Okay. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
I'd like to have a
you.
board.
I think since your comment was about the website, I think the operative word we're missing here is intuitive. It needs to be intuitive.
Right.
Rod Smith,
Hang on.
65.
Hang on just a second for me, Rod. Sorry, Louis brought up something that I needed to
You had to
scribble.
make a mental note.
No mental note. I had to flat out write it down and not in shorthand either.
Rod Smith, 6522 Washington. On the communications, I agree, the website is a key place. I mean, when I first came down here and all, and I used that religiously. I don't think Facebook is a good option because there's a lot of people that don't use Facebook or won't use Facebook. So I'm not sure. And even with Facebook, you still have to go down and scroll down to see what all's there. The papers in the front by the post office in the channel there is good, except for a lot of us whose mailbox is clear on the west end. And the only time we go up there is when we got a package to pick up. So if we could think about doing something on the side, on the outside there where the mailboxes are, where people are going by there. I mean, they come up from their car, they go to their box and they come back to the west side of the fence that's there. They don't go up to the front and come around. So something like that might be of benefit. I know the paper stuff, I know we've got issues with people taking stuff off the board and that, then I'm sure you've been thinking about what you can do to control that. So,
Oh, it's in process.
so that would be a benefit, and you can put your flyers up there, and it's not going to hurt anything. I mean, it's a visibility thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rod.
That's because you didn't sit in the front.
I know. Karen Baker, 2204 Minnesota. With regard to the fitness room, if you're concerned of someone hurting themselves, do we have in our welcome packet, I don't know, is it a hold harmless or some kind of form that you sign that if you use the fitness room, like, I don't even know what I'm trying to
A
say.
waiver.
A disclaimer.
A waiver.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Release of responsibility.
We should have that in the welcome packet just to cover yourselves.
I'm going to have to check on that.
We went that route once.
I
And it was basically, if I recall properly, the attorney said that it was a piece of paper that couldn't be defended in court.
That's what I remember.
Okay.
So
That's what I remember.
we can ask you to sign anything, and
Right.
you can sign on the dotted
Right.
line.
But
And if
they
you get
can-
hurt, you can still, and that piece of paper is useless.
You-
So
yeah,
for us, it was it
remember
wasn't
we talked
worth
about
the
it.
time and effort.
Okay.
You can't waiver away your own negligence or your own
Or your
liability.
own-
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the only
Okay.
thing is if
Some
they do
states
something
do,
negligent,
some
it helps.
states.
Okay. Thank
Yeah. Thanks.
Do I have any resident comments from the Zoom?
Yes, I do. This is Dottie.
Okay.
Dear Wester, 1804 Ohio Avenue. And I have a couple of comments about the marketing tools to share information with residents. And my comments, I was typing them in my phone as people were talking, so they may not be exactly in chronological order here. On their Facebook recommendation, I support having a Facebook that is managed and monitored by a trustee or whoever the trustees assigned to do that as administrator, with no capability of having residents respond to it. That would stop people from doing rumors and propaganda that happens on Facebook a lot. Good marketing means using a wide variety of tools available to reach the customer. We use the website, we use the Tribune, we have channel 732. There's no reason not to use social media in the form of Facebook. On Facebook, I actually manage 3 different websites and a couple of Facebooks. I'm not an expert on Facebook, but I know it has a lot of capability. You can cross-reference on Facebook. You can pin the website to the top of the Facebook, so it's always there. You can always refer back to the website as the official source for trailer estates information. But it does reach a lot of people that use Facebook and also would use all of the other tools. On the website, I agree with the comments that people have been making. The website is not intuitive. There is not a search button. It would be easier, I think, if there was a search button to be able to put in a word of something that you're looking for. It might go down to the page it's supposed to find the document. But it is very hard to find things unless you just happen to know where it is. I think that makes it difficult for people, especially those new on it, to find information. The thumb drives, there's a comment about the thumb drives. The thumb drives were intended to change from a hard copy of the welcome package and other information about trailer estates to give to residents in the park. And let me see. Flyers can be sent to the Facebook manager and uploaded to Facebook pretty easily. I heard the comments about flyers being sent to the website as well. There are many concepts out there about a web design. I don't think you can just go to, or should just go to Big Fish or whatever company does the web design and say, do a web design for us. They have to have guidance on what you want, how you want it to look, etc. What kind of content. My recommendation is that there is a committee put together to come up with some concepts of a web design. You could include the computer club, as we have a lot of members who are tech savvy in a variety of different areas. I would like to be on that committee. Forming a website, they need to know what it is you want, how you want it to look, what content do you want it to have, etc. So I support the Facebook concept and redoing the website. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Dottie, when you brought up about the search button, when Big Fish redesigned the website, we pursued the possibility of a search button, and it didn't function because of all of the PDF documents that we have that are the policies and procedures, and the search button couldn't search those. And so all you could actually search was, it didn't function. You couldn't find what you wanted, or when you put in a certain search string, you wound up with 45 hits. So we pursued that search button, and it didn't function with our particular website. And we did do all the things that you said, what we wanted, that sort of stuff, to the information we wanted on the website. We went through all of that when we did that original design. But I'm definitely open to how do we make it better.
I suggest that input could be given by a committee and then bring the concepts back to the board to see if it's something they want to pursue, and then give it to somebody to develop. And when I do a search button on documents that I have, I may come up with a lot of different keywords that come up. I just go through each one until I find the one I want. So there is a way to do it, but I don't have that answer.
Yeah, I don't have the details. It's been too long. I just know that we tried the search button, and we couldn't make it work with the way our documents are. And as I recall, my foggy memory, it was the policies and procedures and all those individual documents that followed us up on trying to do any sort of a search.
Okay, anything else? Do I have any other resident comments? Hearing none, I'm going to adjourn this workshop at 12:29.
Turn off your mics.
Yep.